Ask someone what existed before the Big Bang, and they'll usually say, nothing. But here's the problem with that answer. Nothing isn't a place. It isn't a void waiting to be filled. It isn't emptiness, or darkness, or cold, empty space. When physicists say there was nothing before the Big Bang, they don't mean a blank canvas that something was painted onto. They mean that time itself didn't exist yet, and if there's no time, there's no before. This is entry 005 of the Cosmic Ledger, and today we're going all the way back, past the first stars, past the first atoms, past the first nanosecond of existence, to the moment where our best physics quietly admits we don't know what happened here. Most people frame this wrong. They picture the Big Bang like a bomb going off, a huge explosion in the middle of empty space, a moment of fire expanding outward into a dark void. That's not what happened. There was no space for it to expand into. There was no void. There was no surrounding emptiness. Space itself was created in the Big Bang. Space, the fabric of reality, started expanding, not into something, just expanding. Think about it this way. Imagine you're an ant living on the surface of a balloon. You can walk in any direction forever and never find an edge. You can ask, how big is the balloon? But you can't ask, what's outside the balloon? Because from your position, there is no outside. The universe is that balloon. And the Big Bang was the moment that balloon started inflating. So when we ask, what existed before the Big Bang, we're making an error. We're assuming time existed before the universe did. But time is part of the universe. It's a dimension of space-time, and space-time began at T-Wasuo. Asking what came before the Big Bang is like asking what's south of the South Pole. Physicist Stephen Hawking used that exact analogy. You can keep walking south, and then you reach the pole. And the question, what's further south, stops making sense. Not because there's a wall, but because the question itself breaks down. Now, this is where it gets genuinely strange, because even physicists don't all agree on what T0 means. General relativity, Einstein's theory of gravity, predicts that if you rewind the expansion of the universe, all of space-time collapses into a single point of infinite density, a singularity. And singularities are where physics breaks. The equations return infinity, and infinity isn't an answer. It's a sign that your model has hit its limit. So at the very first moment, the very first fraction of a Planck second, our best theory of gravity simply stops working. But there are ideas, real, serious physics ideas about what might have happened at or before that boundary. Cosmic inflation. In the 1980s, physicist Alan Guth proposed that the universe went through a period of insanely rapid expansion, faster than the speed of light in the first 10 to the power of negative 32 seconds. Inflation solves several problems that the basic Big Bang model can't explain on its own, and it's now considered mainstream cosmology. But inflation doesn't tell us what came before it. It just pushes the question back. The Hartley-Hawking no boundary. Proposal. In 1983, Stephen Hawking and James Hartle proposed something remarkable. What if time near the Big Bang wasn't like the time we experience, a straight line stretching into the past, but instead curved, like a spatial dimension? In this model, asking what was before the Big Bang is like asking what is north of the North Pole. Time didn't begin abruptly, it just ran out of past, smoothly, with no hard edge, loop quantum cosmology. Some physicists reject the singularity entirely. In loop quantum gravity, space itself is made of discrete chunks, and when you compress everything down, those chunks create a pressure that prevents infinite density. In this model, the Big Bang was actually a big bounce, a collapse of a previous universe that rebounded into expansion. In that version, there was something before the Big Bang, just not a universe like ours. Here's what I want you to sit with. For a second, every single thing that has ever happened, every war, every thought, every star that ever burned and died, exists inside a universe that may have come from nothing. not nothing as a placeholder. Not nothing waiting to be filled. Nothing as in no space, no time, no laws of physics, no probability, no possibility, and somehow from that, here we are. The honest scientific answer to what existed before the Big Bang is we don't know, and what makes that remarkable is that it might not be ignorance. It might be that the question is the wrong shape. Our brains evolved to think in time, before and after, cause and effect. We literally cannot imagine existence outside of a timeline. It's built into how we process reality, but the universe was not built for our comfort. It didn't need a before. It didn't need a reason to start. And the fact that we're sitting here trying to understand it, that might be the most extraordinary thing the Big Bang ever produced. If this entry made the universe feel a little bigger, and your certainty feel a little smaller, that's exactly what it was supposed to do. Next entry, we're going somewhere darker. The universe is not only stranger than you imagine, it may be stranger than you can imagine. And we're going to test that. This has been entry 05 of the Cosmic Ledger. The ledger stays open.